I'll tell you what I'm about. Straight up giving earth-shattering orgasms and then leaving immediately.
They called us crazy. They were trying to make us feel crazy, dude. They said it's not happening. They said, oh, it's just copium. We're on copium. This is a whole bunch of freaking nothing, dude. This is all just stupid rumors and everything. Imagine my surprise. Imagine the soy jack face on my face. When I woke up this morning, I got out of bed, I went and I checked my dang phone, and what did I see, dude? I saw half a gazillion freaking notifications saying, dude, the fucking jaws of Oblivion have been opened, bro. It dang happened. And I immediately bought it the first day that it came out because I'm naive and stupid. I don't know why you're not supposed to buy games the first day they come out. It's 2025. Why did I do that? I don't know why I did that, but hey, dude, I don't freaking regret it because it's actually good. It's surprisingly really freaking good. I knew it was going to be good to some extent, but like in some ways it's even better than I thought it would be, bro. Fucking Oblivion Remake's fucking amazing. But yeah, no, the Oblivion Remake did in fact come out today. Believe it or not, this actually is not me making a reference to the North Korean video where they're threatening to nuke the United States. That's real, they actually fucking did that. But no, that game's out. I'm not making a cool little reference to that. The game's actually out. It's freaking here, and yeah, I bought it, dude. So I guess before we get into it, I just want to clarify some stuff. To anyone who usually watches my channel, you probably noticed 2 seconds into this, hey dude, different type of video, what are we doing? I'm just excited about Oblivion, and I meant to record a Redguard video today, and it didn't happen because Oblivion. You might have seen the post that I made earlier. I was trying to stream the game, and I found out immediately that in order to stream on YouTube, you need to sit and just wait for 24 hours for some sort of streaming authorization process. So that shit's not happening. That's for me tomorrow. For you today? Probably. Yeah, probably. And then things are going to return to somewhat normal. There's still going to be a Redguard video at some point this week. I don't really know when, but it will be some point this week. But yeah, without further ado, here's my little Oblivion quick review after I don't know. I think I played it for like 2 hours or something. Slowly. I don't fucking know, dude. It's good though, I can tell you that. I am blown away by the fucking game. I'm gonna start with my small list of nitpicky little cons, most of which are going to be fixed with mods and just updates that are going to be out soon. And we got lots of pros, and then there's other little freaking points to make, dude. So right off the bat, I'm not entirely decided on how I feel about the character creation of the game. It's got good stuff and it's got bad stuff. Much to a lot of people's dismay, I don't think it's quite as possible to make just an absolute monstrosity of a character like you used to be able to do in the original Oblivion. But you can there's still a lot of creative freedom to get something pretty messed up. I mean, there was a few sliders I was messing around with and my character ended up looking real wall-eyed. So there's still some potential to get something good going there. The only thing that kind of bugged me though is I kind of wish that there was some sort of a body sliding thing in the character creation, because I figured I'd challenge myself a little bit. You know, I as I've mentioned a few times on my channel before, I tend to kind of pride myself a bit for being pretty good at, you know, making a interesting and attractive looking video game character. And as I was scrolling through the race options for Oblivion, the first thing I noticed was the orc dude looks fucked up, bro. He's got issues, and I was just like, let's try to make an attractive orc, and that's gonna be my first little test character. And I don't know, I think I pulled it off about as well as I could. I wasn't spending a whole bunch of in-depth time, you know, dedicated to it or anything, but I think I passed to some extent there. But yeah, no, I wish there was some sort of a body sliding feature when making your character, because let's be real, I mean, if I'm playing as a freaking orc or something, I want to be a giant goddamn beefcake, bro. And Oblivion ladies are skinny. Why are they so dang skinny? Where's the fucking meat, bro? I'm trying to fucking get her buff. and huge, dude. Yes, it's so I can simp about her and imagine that she's putting me in a headlock, but we're not gonna fucking talk about that, okay? This is immersion. It's not fetishizing. It's not creepy. This is immersion. That's what it's all about. This is not some gooner mentality shit. Don't even worry about it. But yeah, no, some kind of customization with that would be cool. That being said, it's only a matter of milliseconds before people start modding the game and a feature like that is put in. So I'm not too concerned about that. It's whatever. Besides, it was just a little test character that I was using for a couple hours. When I actually get into the game, gotta have some sort of entirely different playstyle setup, so it's fine. Don't need to be a huge, gigantic beefcake for that. Another weird nitpick is, I don't know, maybe if it was just something that I did, or if this is just how the game is, but like, why the hell is her head so damn big? Is that just me? Does her head not look fucking gigantic to you guys? Maybe I did something with her jaw. I don't really know. But my orc gal's head is freaking huge. And yeah, I'm going to have to wait till I get into the game a bit more to kind of put that sort of complaint to some kind of validity, really. But yeah, I don't know. My orc lady's head was goddamn gigantic. And it took me out of it a little bit. But like, again, that's fucking tiny nitpicky shit. Other than that, I think that's all of the bad stuff I can say about like the player model and whatnot. I only got good things to say about all the other NPCs and everything. I mean, frickin', you know, you boot the game up, you finish making your dude, and then there's Patrick Stewart, bro, and he's just like, frickin', hi, it's me, fucking Captain Septum, dude. Do you like this joke I'm doing here? You gotta do Oblivion and shit. That's what he says. That's a direct quote. That's what he actually told me. And I'm like, damn, Mr. Septum. Cool redesign. To be freaking honest, he's looking pretty good. Not to mention, I mean, look at those crazy animations. You're looking quite fine in Unreal Engine 5, good sir. Not to mention Boris. Dude, Boris? We'll save Boris for later. But I mean, you want to get the real freaking review of him? Check my goddamn RedTube account to see how I really feel about that gift from the freaking Alikir Desert. That's a bad joke. I don't have an account. You will not find me there. But yeah, continuing through the little tutorial dungeon, things are running really smooth. I mean, I wasn't getting any crazy frame drops. Nothing was bugging out or anything. So it was just like good impression from Bethesda right off the fucking get-go. Always like to see that. One thing I did notice pretty quickly though, once they started actually playing it, was after I messed around in the UI, and I'm gonna get to the UI in the pros section, I opened up the map and I realized for some reason I cannot control the map like at all really with my controller, which I do be using for my PC because I freaking grew up on the goddamn Xbox, dudes, and I will not lower myself to the standard of getting used to a huge ass fucking keyboard. Where are all these buttons I don't need and this stupid mouse thing? Hex no, dude. I go controller all the way, but I open up the map in the game and I can't pan through the map with my controller. I had to use my mouse for that. So that was pretty weird. Maybe that's gonna get updated, maybe it won't. I mean, it's not like it's an intense, you know, thing you need to pay attention to opening up the map. It's like, you know, I don't have any issues in combat, is what I'm getting to. Combat-wise, the controller works just fine. It's just little UI menu thingies where I gotta, like, switch over to my mouse for a second. Not a huge deal. I would certainly prefer it was not the case, but, like, I'm not gonna, like, regret buying the game for that. Another thing, and I'm not even sure if this is a pro or a con, the archery took me a second to, like, just get a grasp on. One of the early things that was mentioned when all this Oblivion stuff was being leaked at first was that, yeah, archery and like blocking are getting a huge overhaul and everything, which they did. I can't say a whole lot about blocking because I didn't do it much, but archery is like, in terms of just feeling, it's way different from Oblivion. It's just super snappy. I guess that's the only word I can really use to describe it. It's very snappy and physicsy, I guess. It's pretty similar to how archery works in Elder Scrolls Online, minus, I mean, if I remember correctly, in Elder Scrolls Online, you just lock onto someone and start shooting. You still have to aim in Oblivion, but it's just, I mean, there's the footage. You're looking at the footage, dude. It's looking snappy. I don't know if I like it or not still, but it doesn't take me out of it, you know? Like, it's still fun. I think that the, you know, huge chunk of the Elder Scrolls community that enjoys just constantly beelining towards a stealth archer build, they're still gonna have fun with this game. A couple other little cons, the frickin', I'm gonna be real with you, dude. I like the zombie design. He looks cool, he's very detailed and everything. Don't get me wrong, he's decent. However, I think the Oblivion zombie was just like way freaking better. The Oblivion zombie is just like, he's terrifying. That fucking zombie in Oblivion used to scare the shit out of me as a kid. I'm pulling up a picture of him right freaking now. I mean, it was just all mutilated. If I remember correctly, he was like missing like the lower jaw or something. At times, some models of it are. Yeah, there was randomized different models of the zombie in the original Oblivion. Sometimes it was missing an arm. You'd have the headless zombies. Sometimes they got the jaw, sometimes they freaking don't. And it's cool, and either way, they all look just like absolutely fucking morbid, right? I used to get nightmares of that shit playing Oblivion as a kid. Because, yeah, it was one of the very first video games I ever played on a console when I was like, I don't know, 6 or 7 or something. And yeah, the zombies used to scare the hell out of me. New zombie? He's cool, I guess, but he's not like disturbing, you know. He's just a zombie. Cool, he doesn't have an arm, I guess, but still, it's like fucking, come on, you know. Could have been a little something. The original zombie, I mean, like, it's naked and all mutilated and everything. Like, it's fucking morbid. It's disturbing to look at the original zombie in Oblivion. Now he's just exactly what you think of when you think of a zombie. Again, though, there's probably gonna be some kind of mod. Also, I only saw one zombie. Maybe the other ones look more fucked up. Maybe I just got the little schmo, average Joe looking dude. Who knows? Another small design complaint is, why is the fucking iron armor so goddamn fancy looking? Look, dude, it does look cool. It's fancy. Like I just said one jump cut ago, it is fancy. What are the odds that you're in like a little dungeon escaping from prison and you just find that in a nasty little rotted wooden chest? I don't freaking think so. The leather armor looks sick. The rest of the iron stuff I have no problem with. It's specifically like the cuirass, all the plates on the shoulders and everything. They kind of overdid the design on the iron armor a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is like a lot to ask for, but I mean, if they released the game in a way where it's just like you had different variations for different types of armor, that'd be sick. But again, mods, dude. 110%. Like I've said earlier, like most of these little cons that I have, these nitpicky little things, these are gonna be solved with mods so fucking quick. I know it, dude. It's a Bethesda game. They released this shit partially unfinished with the intention of the rest of us finishing it, which is bad, but you do get your game exactly how you wanted it that way. So, good parts and bad parts there. Also, the ingredient harvesting, what the fuck is this? What is that? What is that? That reminds me of the Chinese version of Halo Combat Evolved, or when you kill a Covenant, they just go and like kind of like warp inwards a little bit, you know? I mean, what is... There was nothing wrong with how it was originally. I would prefer the model just stays there, to be completely honest. None of these cons took me out of the experience, really. It was just sort of like a little thing I had to adapt to mentally real quick, but like something about harvesting ingredients and just watching them kind of warp in a very arcadey, cartoonish sort of fashion just made me go like, what the fuck was that? Like, it really doesn't suit it. It's such a tiny little thing, but like, as someone who does a lot of alchemy and weird shit like that in these types of games, it definitely rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. That being said, I don't really care that much either. It's still a really good game. We still haven't gotten into the freaking just Bible of pros that I have here. One last little thingy I noticed pretty early on before I got out of the dungeon was the loading screens. Dude, they're kind of mid. They fell off with the loading screens a little bit, not gonna lie. They could have done a bit better. Original Oblivion's loading screens were fucking fantastic. I love the little illustrations. I love the border. I even like the little red scrolling thingy for the loading bar. I liked all of it, dude. Now it's just a little... I mean, yeah, it's cool that it's still a sketch, and it's cool that it's zoomed out and it's on a table and everything, but the original Oblivion, like, it would scroll through different pictures. These loading screens don't scroll through different pictures. It's the same picture that it shows you while it's loading. And I don't know, it's like... It feels a little bit too modernized somehow. I think it's with the UI, which again I'll get into later. Yeah, no, the loading screens could use a bit of work, but again, dude, fucking mods. That's gonna get fixed quick. Two more small things before I get into the pros, into the good stuff. I don't know if this was typically just Bethesda being Bethesda. Like, I don't know where Bethesda being Bethesda ends and where my PC specs not being up to modern standards begins. I was getting some crazy fucking frame drops at certain points, especially after I exited the Imperial Sewers. I mean, there was times where I thought my game was gonna crash. Once or twice I went down to like 2 frames. It was bad. It was real bad. I went and lowered the settings a bit, and I got like another maybe 10 frames out of that, but it's still It doesn't sit at 60. I can tell you that. I don't get like a consistent frame rate. That's probably gonna get patched out soon, hopefully. Or maybe it is a thing with my PC. Here's the thing with my PC, dude. My PC is, I think, 3 or 4 years old at this point. I don't know shit about fuck when it comes to smart shit like computers. I'm gonna be completely honest here. I walked into Memory Express. I walked in there with $3,500 I saved up by working at McDonald's full time, and I just slapped it onto the counter and I said, "Hey, dude, I want a freaking custom built PC animal style. Okay, give me the best shit you got." And he did. I've been told that he did. My friends and family members who are tech people have seen my PC specs and have went, "That's good. That's good stuff. Very nice indeed." So, I don't know. It's good. I've got good stuff. I've got, what do we got here? I got a freaking, how do I pull up my goddamn stuff? I may have forgotten that Task Manager tells you what graphics card you have. I got an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3060 Ti. Okay, dude. And I've got freaking, what else do we got here? I've got B550 Aorus Elite AX V2. I've got freaking AMD Ryzen 7 5700X 8-core processor. I don't know what any of this shit is. I mean, I know it's graphics cards and motherboards and CPUs. I don't know if they're good or not, okay? Is what I'm getting at. I just know that it's like, it's good enough to get by. It's good enough to run Cyberpunk on all the max settings and not have any issues. I didn't have terrible problems with that, okay? My PC, I'd still consider it animal style. That being said, I did run the game initially on ultra graphics, on ultra settings. And again, it was good in the sewers, but once I got outside, then we ran into issues that are running into like 20, 30, 45 frames per second. No bueno. Put it down to high, then it like rarely went below 30. So I don't really know. I'm gonna have to mess around with it a bit. But yeah, I don't know enough about tech to know if that's a me problem or if that's a this game came out this morning problem and I played it like 2 hours after fucking knowing about it. So who knows about that one? Okay, my next con thing, which is gonna oddly lead into a pro thing, is the voice acting. Here's what I did not know going into the game, and I was very pleasantly surprised about. They got new voice actors in Oblivion. I guess Bethesda was embarrassed or just realized it was a real bad move to have like 3 voice actors for the whole game. It was more than that. It was more like 8, but still. So they got a few more. Pleasantly surprised to find out that most of those new voice actors are actually people from Skyrim. So it was like I said, just a pleasant shock, a pleasant surprise to hear like freaking John Curry all of a sudden, who is the voice of like Faendal and just all the male wood elves in Skyrim, essentially. Not all, most of them. You know the dude. He sounds kind of like Sven, but it is a different voice actor, I think. Yes. Maybe? There's 2 voice actors in Skyrim that sound very similar to each other, but they're not. Anyways, he's there. He plays a whole bunch of Imperials, but he has like a British accent, and he plays a lot of the male wood elves. Here's my problem though, dude. The elf voice actor for Oblivion, who I believe is Craig Seckler? He's also the voice actor of Butch from Fallout 3. That dude's fantastic. And I ran through the Imperial City just talking to all the elves that I met, and I heard a lot of John Curry and not enough of Craig Seckler, dude. Not enough of him. If I get to that point where I'm at the little refugee camp outside of Kvatch, and I'm confronted by that wood elf dude that does this. Run away! Ah! And it's John Curry. I like John Curry. He's good. I have zero issues with his voice acting performance. He's good in everything that I've heard him in. On the odd occasion that I hear him in a game that's like outside of Bethesda, I'm like, hey, there's that dude. I recognize him immediately. But I mean, there's like certain iconic line deliveries here that are being taken out by a different voice actor. And it's like, it's cool that they're diversifying the voice cast and making everyone, not a fucking clone of each other. But there's still a charming amount of jank in there. They got freaking Thor in here. He's John Curry now. I walked in there, I was actually mad. Again, I like him. I like his voice, I like his voice acting, zero problems with it whatsoever. But I was like, fucking, I loved Thor right here, dude. They changed his voice, and now I gotta get used to this voice. Now I gotta like sit here and like have a little debate with myself, deciding on who I like more. So that part has its ups and downs. There's also entirely new voice actors too, like the little pirate lady that's hanging out by the waterfront, that dark elf. New voice. For the record, I prefer that over the old one. So again, there's ups and downs with that. With that being said, though, I think that's all of the cons. So there's pros too. We got a lot of pros too, because I'm quite happy with the game. I'm quite freaking satisfied with my purchase, to be honest here. Cloth physics, bro. In my Elder Scrolls game, it's more likely than you think. 100% likely, actually. Even the chains on her wrists are dangling. I was blown the fuck away. Speaking of physics, holy crap, the combat. Oh my god, the combat. First off, Oblivion's playable in third person now, and in some ways it's actually... Some people might find it easier in third person, which is insane. Yeah, it's a different engine, but like, still. It's like, it's fun. It's fun. Original Oblivion had this weird, like... gliding kind of feeling to it. I can't really describe it better than that. Like whenever you're moving around, you just kind of feel like you're floating. Doesn't help that half the time if you were like in combat swinging your weapon around and jumping, there just wouldn't be a jumping animation. You would just float into the air. So gone are those days, essentially, is what I'm saying. Like I freaking... It's given me the same sort of feeling that I got playing For Honor for the first time. Not the fucking same thing, but still, bear with me here. The weapons have weight to them, is what I'm saying. The way they have the swinging animated is like, I felt like I was a giant buff orc beating the shit out of these goblins with my axe and mace that I also found, dude. The combat is like fun, and I was ripping through people with my freaking fire spells. Oh my god, speaking of the fire, the on fire effect, that looks fantastic. That looks fan-fucking-tastic. I forgot that I found the zombie to be somewhat lame-looking. Sorry about my knuckle cracking there. I didn't even know I was doing that. It's such a bad habit. I forgot that I was mildly disappointed by how the zombie looks because I was so immediately freaking impressed by that flame. Holy shit, dude, that looks good. And then also, speaking of magic, they have blended together old audio effects and new ones. Some spells have new effects entirely. Some others, like healing, for example, and some conjuration stuff, and I think the flames one is just old audio, but like they remastered it. I guess they've improved the quality of them. Everything just sounds so much better.
What is it, citizen?
There's nothing to complain. I was about to say there's so little to complain about it. There's nothing to fucking complain about it. And there's new, like, okay, check out this fucking power attack with an axe, dude. That's sick as hell. That is so cool. I was like surprised. I thought that was a special move when I first did it. I was like, are they just going easy on me and giving me special moves right off the bat without me having to like increase the skill? No, it just looks like that. It looks sick as hell. I'm so glad that they added in stuff like that. It looks fucking awesome, bro. Then you got the UI. The UI, I was a little bit mixed on, but it grew on me. You have a mix between the old school Oblivion UI, you know, the parchment and everything, and then there's also like this kind of Skyrim-y looking UI, which you could also argue is ESO, that's sort of UI too. The modern Elder Scrolls UI is integrated with the old Oblivion UI, and I just think it looks cool. It's nice to look at, and it's going to be one of those things that just kind of like draws in new people a little bit more, makes this whole experience a bit more familiar for them. Speaking of making things familiar and new experiences, dude, they got tutorials in it, but like not the stupid like shoot the bucket with your arrows tutorial. I mean, like they have a menu with like little videos in it and everything. Oblivion is just, it's like, I don't even know how to describe how impressed I am with this shit. Not that I need the tutorials or anything, I just really appreciate that they went through the effort to put something like that in, and they made it look as cool as it does with the fucking videos and shit. It's sick. It's so cool. And then the other little point I got with my pros here is the game is like, it's still the Oblivion that I know, but it's new enough for it to be like a new experience, you know? Like, it does feel like I'm playing a different game, but it's also familiar enough where it's just like, I know which kind of quests I can cheese, I know what the twist here is gonna be, I know how to do this. Like, there's nothing, I'm comfortable, basically. It's like a new but also comfortable experience, and they've just balanced the two out perfectly. It's like, it's a masterpiece with how well they've balanced new things and old things. I don't know how the hell they pulled that off, especially having Bethesda's track record. I mean, I'm fucking like speechless with some of this stuff. But yeah, I mean, those are just like the kind of things that I noticed like within the first, I don't know, 5 minutes of actual gameplay once I got past the character creation. As things go on, it's you know how Oblivion starts, you know, JD Vance murks the fucking Pope and then the jaws of Oblivion are opened up, dude. That happened yesterday. Oblivion's now. Coincidence? I think not, dude. That dude had the Amulet of Kings. That's all I'm saying. Also, holy fuck, did they ever brutalize him? I was very curious, I'll say, thinking about how they might handle Uriel Septim dying. And, like, because, you know, in the original Oblivion, you're just locked in place, you can't move, and then the wall opens up and there's just this dork standing there, you still can't move, and he's standing there for a second because his pathfinding is fucked for like 2 seconds, and then he runs up and just like limply slashes at Uriel, and then that's that, right? Now they just like, I mean, holy crap, dude, they live leaked his ass, and true, you still can't move, but I mean, now it makes a little bit more sense, and it happens a lot quicker too. Plus, you get to hear his whole voice line this time around too. I was also very impressed by the lighting. I mean, oh, speaking of lighting, Jesus Christ, the clouds just went over the sun. That's why I'm now a bit of a magenta shade. My apologies for that, folks. The lighting in the game, not in this video, is so good. So fucking good. When I was playing original Oblivion, I'd be bum rushing through the tutorial because I was just like, this is just ugly fucking, everything's gray and nasty and dirty looking and whatever. Playing through the remake though, it's like, what is this, like, I don't know, mid-2000s inspired, like, gothic sort of aesthetic going on. It was terrific. The fucking god rays, bro. Everything's just so goddamn nice. I had to extinguish my little torch after a certain point because I realized I was kind of ruining the lighting. I was ruining my appreciation for it. Jesus. It's crazy how well just good lighting can affect the visual appeal of a game. And then speaking of visual appeal, Jesus, Boris. I'm here for you, man. Holy crap. First off, they got beards back. Second, why did they make this man look like a model? I already liked Boris a lot to begin with. Boris is one of my favorite video game characters since I was a kid, which I know is weird because it's a fucking Oblivion character. It's not that deep, but there's just something about Boris since I was little where I was like, this dude's my freaking pal. Always liked Michael Mack's performance in Oblivion. I loved his, he voices every Redguard male, whatever. He does it well, dude. And as we've seen on my channel, he does it well as Cyrus too, okay? He is fantastic. And then Boris just as a character is cool. It becomes your good chum just like fairly early on after you've gone and proven yourself a little bit. Now they made him hot. What am I gonna fucking do with myself, Todd? Why did you do this to me, bro? What else? I haven't seen Joffrey yet, but I'm gonna be pissed, dude, is all I'm gonna say. If they if they gave him hair and they made him look like a silver fox, I'm gonna be mad. If they went himboified all of the fucking fan favorite characters, what the hell's Mankar Cameron gonna look? What is Martin gonna look like? Oh my god, I'm not looking up anything. I'm not looking up anything, dude. Bit of a buy rampage. We love a little buy rampage here. Speaking of things looking fantastic, when I got out of the sewers, bro, when I got out of the fucking sewers, oh my god. Looking back on it now, I'm still speechless. I know I fucking overused the term speechless already in this video, but holy shit, dude. When Oblivion originally came out, I mean, people rag on it these days all the time, of course, but for all the characters look like potatoes and fucking all these goofy shit and these glitchy things are happening. When that game came out initially, it was fucking revolutionary, okay? I was a spry, young, wee little kid at the time, but I still remember people being obsessed with Oblivion. I remember being completely blown away by it, having just not have played anything similar or seen anything similar to that until, like, Skyrim came out, essentially. That game was already good at first, okay? And it was Bethesda really nailing in the point of one of the things that they're best at, which is just that initial reveal after you pass the tutorial and you know, it just dawns on you that like the whole world is your oyster now. Now you can just kind of do anything. You're out of the tutorial. That first look when you exit the cave from Skyrim in the beginning, or when you exit the sewers here, is like it's like iconic shit. And they somehow made it better. How did that happen? I don't know how to even tell you how good it looked. So I'll here's this.
Trust me, when you fire this game up, your little fucking nuts are gonna start quaking, buddy. Your little nuts are gonna be quaking. You're gonna shoot. You're gonna shoot.
Sorry for putting in a Sam Hyde clip. It's the best thing that I could find to. That's how I felt, dude. Remove everything else that he's done. Just get the context of that clip. There you are. That's how exiting the freaking. I mean, look at this shit. I didn't even know that statue was there at first. It probably was, but like I didn't notice until now. Not to mention later on when you like near the Imperial City a bit more, you can see that little Wizard's Tower from the Wizard's Tower DLC. Holy shit, dude. Everything's just so good. Everything's just so good. Everything is so damn good. But I think that's all my points. I think if you are an Oblivion fan, if you have even slightly enjoyed the game, or if you the last time you played it was like, 12 years ago or something, I think you're doing a disservice by not at least waiting for this game to go on sale and buying it. I mean, it's good. It's good. There's nothing to really complain about. That's not going to be fixed either immediately by a patch or immediately by mods once people have access to that kind of thing. I guess one of the last things I would ask for it would be some better followers. Oblivion originally did have some followers, but they were, Oblivion followers. They didn't do anything. They just followed you. They didn't say anything interesting, and then they died in 2 hits. One problem I always had with Oblivion was getting over encumbered too quick, and I'm not even one of these hoarder characters. I never played Oblivion that way. I'm not running around grabbing every like cup and plate that I find. But still, you get over encumbered in that game fairly quickly, and it'd be good to have a little pack mule along with you. So, I don't know, maybe they'll get some kind of creation club thing in where it's like, oh, you could have a backpack, or just anything like that where you could just like in-game, immersively, properly increase your carrying capacity, or just get some other dumbass to hold it for you. That'd be fine with me. All that being said, yeah, I believe that's all my points now, actually. So, to anyone new to the channel who's just checking out this video, if you're unaware, I have been slowly but surely beating every single Elder Scrolls game in the entire series, spin-offs included. We have done Arena, Daggerfall, Battlespire, we're just about finished Redguard, then we got whatever the hell is next, Stormhold and Dawnstar, and then Shadowkey if I can get an emulator for that. I mean, if I can get a legal, normal way for that to work. Apparently it's a nightmare trying to get that game to work. But, yeah, we'll still be trucking along. I know my upload schedule has been absolute dog shit diarrhea dookie lately. Slowly trying to fix that. We're going to see what's going to happen. There will be another Redguard video at some point within the next few days. And assuming this video is going to be out on the 23rd, I will either have already done a live stream or you will see one soon. So thank you for checking this out. I was just real excited about Oblivion and I wanted to do something. So yeah, I will see you folks on my next little Redguard episode. We got that little puzzle thing figured out that I was having an issue with, and it's gonna be all fucking cool. See ya. I gotta fucking head off to work now. My goodness, I'm gonna be late.
Hey, yo, my life's like a movie. My eyes are like a Uzi, jacuzzi. Get the fuck out of the way!